Welcome back to another episode of Dental Student Vibes. My name is Seth Kalish, and I'm here today with Anthony Wallish and Matt Havis. And today, we want to talk to you guys about something very near and dear to our hearts. I mean, I think it's probably affected people all over the world. It definitely has. We just want to talk about opportunities that we've been given and how, we got to appreciate being here every single day. So, in recent events, we learned that Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and 7 others passed away in a helicopter accident.
I mean, I can speak for myself, and I know Anthony, we're both huge basketball fans, so, this hit close to home. I grew up my entire childhood watching Kobe, hating Kobe, because I wasn't a huge Lakers fan, but you respect the guy because, he's greatness. And it just stinks that the fact that, he's so young. He lost, his daughter was with him. I feel so bad for the rest of his family. I mean, words can't express, because not only did, a woman lose her husband, but she also lost a daughter as well. So.
It's absolutely tragic. We all know Kobe Bryant. He wasn't just a basketball player. He was a world icon. You saw people grieving all across the world. You saw a Neymar celebration for him right after he found out that Kobe passed away during his halftime meeting with the club. You saw Sergio Ramos the next day in Spain wearing a Kobe Bryant USA Olympic jersey to practice. I mean, there's been countless people he's touched in the sports world. He mentored baseball, basketball, football players. He was one of those guys who just, despite only having 24 hours in a day, he managed to do so much. And, he's top 5 in points all time. He's arguably top 3 or top 1, whoever you want to argue all time, along with, LeBron and Michael Jordan. But for me personally, the thing that I liked about Kobe most was right after he retired and he became, more of a public figure. He won an Academy Award. He got involved in a lot of things. He was very influential in the growth of women's basketball and just women's USA women's soccer team. He was a fan of that before they even won the World Cup in 2015. So he was really just a guy who had the same mindset, the Mamba mentality, off the court as he did on the court. And I think even with all that going on, he still managed to be this fantastic father to 4 daughters. And, everyone would say you always need a son, Kobe. And he didn't want a son. He was happy with his daughters. Little Gigi that was with him when he passed away. It just really is devastating, and it makes the story even worse. And, just to add on to the fact that there's 7 other people there, that lost mothers.
You don't want to get eclipsed by the greatness of Kobe. There's still 7 other people, husbands, wives, children, brothers, sisters. They were on the helicopter as well. So you gotta keep them in your thoughts, keep their families in your prayers as well.
Absolutely, but I think it's honestly amazing to see how everyone has come together and has been not only sad but has become vocal with their feelings and emotions because Kobe touched so many people. You hear many stories about him. You hear it's not just about basketball. He was a great human being, and then he was a star basketball player. And
he was bigger than sports.
He really was. He was a world icon, and I really just would like to hear your guys' feelings on him from when you used to watch him back in the day and to where we are now in 2020 when he was just getting started with his second active life. I'd like to hear your thoughts.
So I think when it comes to Kobe and my thoughts towards him are, he was obviously a phenomenal basketball player. He's the second best 2 guard of all time, behind Jordan. But then of course, Dwayne Wade is a short third right afterwards. Gotta go Heat. But I would say though, the thing about Kobe is it wasn't so much as the thing that I appreciated from him wasn't his basketball skills. As I got older, I appreciated his work ethic.
Right, yeah, I think the work ethic is, that's so important. And then, of course, everything else, like you said before, everything he did off the court. He started a bunch of foundations. Him and his wife started the Kobe and Vanessa Bryant Family Foundation, and that's to help homeless youth in Los Angeles. And then he would also help tons of students and athletes after school at After School All-Stars. And, he really inspired a lot of kids. Once you get to that level of greatness, you just need to give back and that's exactly what he did. And he found happiness in doing that, and it's very respectable.
And even outside of his own organizations, he was one of the most influential people in Make-A-Wish. I think he was the top athlete at some point or another for the amount of wishes granted in a certain time frame or year or so. And I mean, that's just truly remarkable. I was reading on a Facebook, a family posted a story about their son who was a diehard Lakers fan. He was young, he was diagnosed with cancer, and he wanted to meet Kobe. And Kobe not only met him, but brought him into the locker room after the game, signed all this memorabilia that he bought for him because they thought it would be distasteful to bring all this stuff. Oh, Kobe signed all this stuff. So he told one of the trainers to go to the store and then bought a whole bunch of gear, signed everything for him, and then afterwards he was so moved and touched by this kid that he introduced the kid to the rest of his family and brought his wife and his daughters back to meet them. And it just truly shows that like he just doesn't do it because it's like something to do. He does it because he truly enjoys it. It shows the quality.
I completely agree, Matt. I mean, there's just countless stories and examples. I've been really following this story pretty much on my free time when we haven't been studying or doing any lab work. This is pretty much all I'm looking on at social media the past few days. And Seth, just to go back to the point that you made about his work ethic, that's pretty much what the Mamba mentality was. It was all about just putting your best into whatever makes you happy. And, he talked a lot about how the journey is really the joy of life. It's not about the end goal, because if you enjoy the journey, that's when you succeed, and that's when you really appreciate the moment and you're really in the present. And I think, his Mamba mentality is something that we could really take into dentistry, because, this guy was not related to the dental field at all whatsoever, but we could learn so much from him as a human being and bring it into, our own practice in the future. Not only how to interact with others, but how to really just approach day and approach life. You want to be the best. You want to be getting up 5:30 in the morning, and whether it's grinding in the gym or studying for boards or whatever it is, you really just want to give it your all and give it the best shot you have, because you're not guaranteed every day, you're not guaranteed every moment, and that's something that I think he personified until his last breath. So I want to say thank you, Kobe, for everything that you've done, not only for myself but for all the basketball fans and pretty much any human being who has ever looked up to you, which I guarantee is in the millions and if not billions. So rest in peace, Kobe. Rest in peace, Gigi. You were going to be a star. You were going to be a legend. And, you won't be forgotten. And rest in peace to the other 7 individuals on the horrific plane crash that happened earlier this Sunday. And it's going to be tough, but we're going to move forward as a society, and we're going to grow from this.
Thank you guys for listening, and we hope you stay motivated and inspired.